All right. So this week on the Fruition Factor podcast, I'm talking about, did I increase my fruition factor by not worrying about if it's perfect or not? So many times it's like we want things to be perfect before we take action. And a lot of times we just have to take action and see what happens and make tweaks along the way. So that's what I'm going to be talking about this week on the Fruition Factor podcast. And did I increase my fruition factor or no? Okay. All right. So something as simple as getting back to recording these podcasts. I was talking with a friend and she was sharing what we were doing in our businesses. And she was talking about that she had this website and she was recording the podcast. And I was like, oh my God, that is very similar to what I have been wanting to do. But I have had so many things that change and I don't have the amount of time that I had before. And finding guests for a podcast, it takes a lot of time. And sometimes people cancel on you at the last minute and you have put in all this work to make something happen. And so I just say sometimes I will have guests and sometimes I won't have guests. And I will share my story on my fruition factor and what's happening. So for me, recording this video makes my fruition factor high this week because I'm actually recording it and I am doing it imperfect. I haven't recorded in a while, having to set up my lighting, having to set up my camera. And so I was just like, oh my God, am I going to get this done? And then the sun went down and that's what made me say, oh my God, I've got to go find my lighting because I don't even know if I still know where that lighting is. So luckily I found the lighting and I am just taking imperfect action to increase my fruition factor. So just recording this and being able to share my story. So I guess the moral of it is you don't need to be perfect in order for you to be able to do this. I am recording this with bare bones of being able to record and get this podcast out there. So I guess the main point of this video is to just take action. And as you go, you will learn different things and you will perfect it as you go, but you will not have that perfection when you first start out in whatever it is that you're doing. So this week, write down one thing that you have been overthinking that you are going to move, you're going to take action on. Stop overthinking it and just do it. That is the action item that you're going to take for this week. Me, myself, I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to think about what that action item is for me to take action on it. But whatever, write down one thing that you've been overthinking and move forward with that so that you can take action on it. And I would love for you to let me know what that is, either in the comments below or at some point. I think I'm going to set up a service where you can leave a message and you can ask a question and I'll do my best to answer it. And if I don't know, I hope to get an expert who can give some advice so that we can move towards what it is that we said we want to do. So this week I set a goal to be able to record some videos for another YouTube channel that I have. And then when I talked to my friend, I was like, I am going to also record this podcast video and get in the habit of just recording these on a weekly basis, regardless as to if I have a guest or not. So that is a part of what I'm doing this week. And I'm looking at my notes so that I can think of everything that I want to say in this video. So that's the real behind the scenes of what I've been working on. It's just to batch record some videos, coming up with the ideas, and then actually implementing them. Yeah, that's what I've been working on and trying to increase my fruition factor of getting these YouTube videos out. This first one is going to be real rough because I'm feeling my way on how to do it. Another thing that I'll be sharing are tools that I've used this week that have helped or hurt or I didn't see any benefit from. One of the things that I did this week to help me with fleshing out my videos is I utilize my digital planner and I wrote out, this is what I'm going to do in order for me to get this done today. Because a lot of the times the things are in my head, but I use my planner to write out, okay, I'm going to plan out these videos. They're going to be raw. Like I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time and like plan, like I know what I want to say. And I just really want to record the videos. Because with my other channel, like I can just spit out that information. It doesn't take me a lot to deliver the right information except for when I'm coming over here to talk, because I'm like trying to think through like exactly how I want to say this and deliver the information. So I utilize my digital planner, which is the Fruition Factor Daily Action Planner. You can definitely check it out and you can order it, and it'll be a digital download. And in conjunction with that, I also use an app called Structured. And I've talked about that in another video that I've done. That allows me to be able to see where in my schedule that I have time to be able to do things, because I do work a full-time job. And so obviously that takes up a chunk of my time, but there's still a good amount of time for me to be able to get things done. And so I just want to see where those are so I can plug it in. This week, I was very on top of utilizing my digital planner, as well as getting back to utilizing my app Structured. So it pinpointed exactly where I could visually see where I had time in my day to be able to get things done. So definitely want to check those out. So those are tools that I have used this week to help me move forward in my business. Now, something that has been popular this week that I have been seeing in my YouTube feed, because that's primarily where I am. I don't really get on the other social media channels, but definitely in my YouTube feed, it has been where Tabitha Brown had talked about going and getting a job. And baby, people did not like what she had to say, but she was very on point with it. That's what she has been saying the entire time. And so I am a full believer that you don't have to quit your full-time job in order for you to be a full-time entrepreneur. Like for me, there is plenty of time in my day for me to work a day job as well as to accomplish my entrepreneurial dreams. And a lot of times people think entrepreneurship is about not working for someone else. And because you're able to sustain yourself by not working for someone else, that is the success of entrepreneurship. Whereas for me, I have done that. I have been an entrepreneur full time. And I will say it is much less stressful for me when I have a full-time job and I am able to do my entrepreneurial passions. It allows my creativity to flow. And for me, I have been able to utilize it to grow my retirement fund much faster, to be able to take some great vacations, to be able to travel and be with friends and family. Whereas if I were just relying on my business, I may not be able to do those things. So for me, there are different levels to what it means to be a successful entrepreneur. And I don't think that because you work a job, that means that you're an entrepreneur or that you're not successful as an entrepreneur. For me personally, it has been beneficial because I'm also able to sharpen my skills as an entrepreneur while working my full-time job. Luckily for me, I've known since college the type of positions that I wanted to be in, type of jobs I wanted to have, which those jobs have always taught me something. I've been able to learn something to be able to utilize it in the businesses that I have. So sometimes you may just need to choose a job that allows you to still accelerate yourself as an entrepreneur. Hey, whether it's working or not, if you have a job, like to me, doesn't mean that you're any less or more of an entrepreneur. But yeah, so that's definitely a myth that I think is romanticized about entrepreneurship, that you have to be a full-time entrepreneur in order for you to be a true entrepreneur. Yeah, nah. That don't work over here. All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, I mentioned it earlier, is that I would love to interact with listeners. There's some tools out there where you'll be able to leave a voice message and ask me a question, or ask a question that you're not sure about, and I'll do my best to answer it. Or like I said, I'll get someone who does know the answer. All right. So for this week on the Fruition Factor, the key takeaway is to take imperfect action. You just need to take action and make adjustments as you go, pivot as you go, because if you never get started, then you won't know what you need to do, and it's just going to be all in your head. So this week, let's take imperfect action. And until next week, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Take the action, and thank you for this first reboot of the Fruition Factor podcast. And my goal is to fine tune this as I go. So guys, have an amazing week, and I will talk to you on the next episode.